Good morning. It's the middle of the night right now, and I want to talk about loneliness. Loneliness, loneliness, loneliness. I'm pretty happy to say that loneliness is quite the rarity for me nowadays. It helps that I'm an introvert and I love my alone time. I love my sweet alone time. And some of the best moments of my life have happened while I was alone. It also helps that I have some amazing people in my life. But with all of that said, just because I'm an introvert doesn't mean I'm exempt from loneliness. I've had many periods in my life wherein I was deeply lonely and I felt like no one knew me for who I truly was, and therefore no one loved and connected with me for who I was. And I've seen firsthand just how lonely people are. You know, introverts and extroverts, people from all walks of life, people of all personalities, ages, you name it. The point is, a lot of us are lonely. And it's been said that we're currently living in a loneliness epidemic. And with things like social media, we're more disconnected than ever. And so, in light of all of that, why are we lonely? What makes up loneliness and what can we do about it? What did I do about it? Well, to start with the first question of why we're lonely in the first place, I first think, what is the opposite of loneliness? To me, the opposite of loneliness is connection. And so, loneliness is the lack of connection with other people. And what I realized later on is also the lack of connection with ourselves. As a result of that, we don't really like spending time with ourselves. We feel like something is missing, we feel disconnected, we feel bored, sad, anxious, and all these other things that collectively form that feeling we call loneliness. And because of that, a lot of us settle with companions that aren't really all that great for us. We settle with people that we don't truly connect with, and this happens all the time in friendships and relationships alike. It's also the reason why a lot of us spend our alone time and we go straight to our phones. We go straight to video games, we go straight to TV, or whatever form of instant gratification pleases you and distracts you from the fact that you're by yourself. Anything that distracts you from those moments you spend with yourself. And so, because lonely comes from this disconnect, and it results in this dissatisfaction with spending time with ourselves, I think it stands to reason that the answer to loneliness is getting to the point wherein we can enjoy our own company. We can enjoy our own company and we can connect with ourselves. And on top of that, we can enjoy the company of others and connect with other people. And so, how do we do this? Well, again, you have to work on those two roots, right? Your relationship with yourself and your relationships with other people. So, first, talking about your relationship with yourself, you have to be your best friend. You have to learn to be your best friend. And I know that's cliche. I know that's really cliche, but that's because there's value to it. There's truth to it. And the way I think about it is this: come up with the most ideal and perfect friend. The bestest friend you can think of that you would want to spend the rest of your life with. What would you want from them? How would you want them to treat you? And how would you want them to speak to you? How would you want them to respond to any successes or failures or mistakes that you make along the way? And once you think of all of these things, start being that friend to yourself. It's that simple. It may not be easy sometimes, but it's simple. Because a lot of us forget the fact that we have relationships with ourselves. The way we treat ourselves, the way we speak to ourselves, that is a dynamic in and of itself. There's communication involved. And so, what do you want from yourself? So, in my case, right, for a start, what did I want from that perfect friend? I would want a friend that is honest with me. I wouldn't want someone that constantly lies to me, that hides things from me, that deludes me. I want someone that can show me the reality of myself and the reality of my life to myself. And not only that, I want them to do it in a way that's accepting, that's understanding, and that is forgiving. Because if I can't make peace with all those parts of myself that I'm trying to work on, and I can't fully accept it for what I is and accept me for who I am, then I'm not going to be able to properly grow and work on myself. Because sometimes there have been times where I've denied certain parts of myself. I didn't even acknowledge certain parts of myself because I was so ashamed of it. And so it's important to be honest, to recognize it, and at the same time, not beat myself up so much over it. Because if I'm always beating myself up over it, anytime I'm by myself, if I'm always belittling myself, then of course I'm not going to be a person I want to be with. Of course, I'm not going to enjoy my company. And of course, I'm going to be lonely. Another thing I would want for myself is encouragement, support, and appreciation. I think the perfect friend would show appreciation for me, would show gratitude towards me, right? Make me feel valued. And a lot of us practice gratitude when it comes to other people, when it comes to our blessings, but a lot of us forget to be grateful to ourselves, to show appreciation to the things that we do where it's due. And not only that, I would want a friend that's able to support me and back me when it comes to my values, when it comes to my goals, when it comes to the kind of life I want to live. I want to be valued for me and who I am. And so I should be that friend to myself, right? The main point is, think of the perfect friend. What would you want from them? And be that friend to yourself. And work on being that friend to yourself every day. And you'll find that soon enough, you'll start enjoying your own company. You'll start valuing yourself. And because you're kind to yourself, you feel safe with yourself, you're not going to feel so lonely anymore. You're not going to feel anxious or shameful over all these things. Then, of course, comes the second part, which is what you should do in relation to your relationships with others. How can you be more connected to others, right? And I would say the very first thing you have to do is to be real. You have to be real and you have to be honest with who you are, how you present yourself. And at some point, you're going to have to get more vulnerable. Because if you play a character, if you change yourself for other people, then when other people end up connecting with what you show them, you're always going to know deep down that they aren't truly connected with you. They're not connected with all of you. And so you're still going to feel alone. You're still going to feel lonely. And that's why you can feel lonely even when you're with other people, because you're not honest with them. And if you're not honest with them, they're not going to love you for who you truly are. And yeah, it's by being real and by being authentic and by being yourself, as cliche as it is, that's how you find the people that truly connect with you. That's how you find those real connections that fulfill you. Because if you settle with those people you don't truly connect with, you're still gonna feel lonely and you're still gonna feel alone in their presence. And so, yeah, that is essentially my guide to loneliness, right? First is work on your relationship with yourself. Be your best friend. Work on becoming your best friend, right? You think of the ideal perfect friend you'd want to spend the rest of your life with. Think of what you would want from them and start doing all those things for yourself. And second, when it comes to finding those connections that truly fulfill you, you have to be real. You have to be authentic. You have to be open with your flaws. You have to be honest, right? To have those true connections. Now, am I missing anything? Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, when it comes to finding those people that you truly connect with, they can be very hard to come by. They're quite rare in my experience. And when you find them, really cherish them, be grateful for them. But most importantly, learn to be grateful for yourself and do things for yourself. You can't control other people. You can't control what kinds of friends other people are going to be. But you can control yourself. You're the one person in this life you have complete control over. So work on being that best friend for yourself. That's all for now. Those are my thoughts on loneliness. I'm really quite sleepy. It's 3 a.m. I think. So I hope you bared with me. And if you did, thank you for watching, right? If you have any thoughts on loneliness or you have your own ways of dealing with loneliness, feel free to share it in the comments down below. But for now, I'm gonna go. And I hope you have a good morning. Have a good morning, my fellow peasants.